Hey y'all. I think y'all can see me. I hope y'all can hear me. I think y'all can. It's my face. Hey y'all. How is everyone on this wonderful Friday? I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Birthday twin. Hey, Samantha. Hey. I love your face. Hey, y'all. Hope everyone bought your questions and comments. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jess. That's what I'm talking about. What I'm going to do is, like, those of you who've been with me for some time back in the day when I would finish, hey there. Hey, Anna, all my beautiful people up in this piece. Some of you guys may remember back in the day when I used to finish all the soul sessions, I used to do this thing that I called the debrief. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. And I used to do pretty much like a whole manifesto on like all the soul sessions because you know how like they'll kind of bleed into each other and stuff. So I used to do that back in the day, but then my life got really hectic and I wasn't able to do it anymore. But because there's been so much stuff, hey Jasmine, since there's been so much stuff happening like energetically in the ethers and just things that have been going on in the weeklies on my network and the whole, you know, the whole black cloak thing coming back up, I figured that now would be like a super dope time for me to just kind of come on and like hang out with you guys and chill and give you guys an opportunity to ask questions and things of the sort. Egan, hey, from Ireland. Hey there. But to give you guys a chance to ask questions and chit chat. And of course, everyone on my network knows like this is something that we typically do. Fridays are the day that we do our mastermind groups for the shadow work course. But our mastermind groups always end up turning into church. Oh, thank you, April. Yeah, man. I got the curls out. But like it always ends up turning into like church pretty much. Oh, thank you, Tebow. Jamila's in here. Oh my god, Jamila's here. Hey, Jamila. So I figured I'd share this with you guys because this is something like that we do like on Fridays and sometimes Saturdays, Sundays, sometimes on a Tuesday over on the network. So I thought it would be dope to share it with you guys. So I haven't done this in so long. Let me see how I do that. You guys can, there it is. Copy to clipboard. Let me not squinch all in the camera. So oh yeah, I will definitely tell you more about the black cloak situation. So here is, I haven't done this in so long, y'all. So with that link, I think it should work. With that link, if you want to like call in, I can have you guys come up and we can like chit chat and things of the sort, or you can put questions in the chat. But the whole situation with the black cloak person. Okay. So this is a vision I had like back in 2019, right? And it started with and y'all let me know if y'all can hear me because I just realized how far my mic is from me. But it started with a Virgo reading that I did in 2019, and it was a love reading specifically. And the way that the whole narrative started, it was this whole situation that I saw with this person where it was like this whole group of people who were like in cahoots, right? and they were like lying on someone, and like pretty much setting the person up in so many words, right? But it's just like the whole energy that I felt with it. It just creeped me out. And look, y'all, I'm being a good human and I'm taking my nail polish off. But it started with that, and it was like this whole situation with um a woman, and it was people who like had it out for her. But it was creeping me out because the vibe I was feeling, I was like, dude, this is kind of bigger than just like kind of messy, petty kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. So the next month, when I did Libra, was when all of a sudden that whole scenario came back again. And as I was sitting at my desk, it's like, because I'm clairvoyant, by the way, but I clearly saw like this whole thing where I'm like, the river is like, you could call it like the psychic river, right? So it's kind of like going into the ethers, right? To where all people who have intuitive gifts would like get information that's coming from spirit, right? And the way that I always tell the story to people is like, if you would imagine like the high priestess card, and you know how there's like the veil behind the high priestess, it's almost like going behind that veil. So there's only one way in and one way out. And you walk down this long little grassy knoll to the river, and everyone stands on the same side of the river. But as I'm doing the reading, I'm seeing me standing at that river. And when I look up, there's another person who's directly across from me, but they had on this black cloak with this huge hood on it. And I was like, how the heck are they over there? Because there's only one way in and one way out. So it's like, how could they have gotten access, and how could they be on the other side of the river? And the whole thing that I was picking up from it is that they were there for the same reason why I was, because they were trying to get information. But the energy that we were in at the time, which is like a collective energy, if you were to look at it like, you know, like the Wheel of Fortune, it's like the Wheel of Fortune being in the reverse, right? And it's like, that's divine timing. So in order for that wheel to turn, all we had was like recycled truth. So no new information was coming until this wheel turned, right? And this person is waiting for the wheel to turn, because what I was intuiting from it was their intention was, when this cycle ended, so it's like this big karmic cycle, when this cycle wrapped up, their intention was to reverse it, right? Now, mind you, this started in a Virgo reading. It came out in a Libra reading. Something that I've noticed throughout the course of the years is whenever there's a collective message, it always, for some reason, comes through Libra. You know what I mean? So with that, it wasn't just about Libra people. So as time went on, because of course, y'all know I meditated and prayed about this because I didn't like it, because the thing I was feeling was like the powers that be. So I felt like whoever this person is, and or as so I thought at the time, I'm thinking, and it just thunders, wonderful. But whoever this person is, I'm like, is this a person that's like psychic, that like works for some bigger, higher power or whatever? Now, fast forwarding to now, what I found out over the course of the years is that's not one person, right? Yeah, my yacht's totally coming through. It's not one person, it's an energy. You know what I'm saying? It's an energy. So this is like a very like, if you were to call it like antichrist, right? Not saying like the antichrist, but it's very much like an antichrist kind of energy, right? And that's like in a big like macro sense. How it reduces down to like a micro sense to how it affects us is like why it is that I'm doing the shadow work course. You feel what I'm saying? Because that big energy signature is very much a part of all of us individually, right? So, you know, if you're a person who's spiritually aware, you're grappling with your own shadow, but then you have people who aren't grappling with their own shadow, right? And these people are consistently under this influence of that bigger, you know, energy signature as well as their own shadow. You know what I'm saying? So where it puts us in a position individually is what all of the soul sessions pretty much were talking about this month. It's like how I kept talking about the crossroads, the crossroads, the crossroads. It's almost like me standing at that river, everyone in the collective is standing at that river, right? And we all have this shadow that's on the other side, right? And that shadow's intention with this cycle turning, right? Whether that's our own shadow aspects or that's people that we know in our lives, you know what I'm saying? Our bosses, colleagues, whatever. It's like those shadow aspects, their sole intention is, since that wheel has turned, is to turn it backwards. So it's trying to get you stuck in an old, dead karmic cycle that you shouldn't be in. So that's why, like, I stressed for each of the signs this month that it's so imperative. And even like with my weeklies that I do on the network, like what I've been talking to them about is slightly different, because the weeklies I do, they're more practical application. You know what I'm saying? So I do, they're called, you know, the Pretty Mystic Weekly, but I do like memos for them. And the memo, like for last week, was like thick. Like it's literally like a mini little book, because there's so much symbolism that came up in the weekly from last week that applies to God, so much stuff. But what I've been stressing on the network is a spiritual foundation, and that came out in a couple of readings. Oh wow, it's 1 a.m. That came out in a couple of readings, the need for like a spiritual basis, because that's something that's lacking in the collective. It's like we're in a spiritual war, but because a lot of people don't have a true spiritual foundation, meaning like a belief system, like what they know about God, or, you know, how God is, or how God works, or how the hermetic principles work, or the laws of the universe, or whatever it is that you believe in, the lack thereof of that understanding kind of has people where we've been on the fence, and it's very difficult for people to stand for something, because a lot of people don't really know what to stand for, you know, especially those of you who've left church, because I got a whole lot of y'all right? And I always tell people, don't throw baby Jesus out with the bathwater, because when you leave church, a lot of people feel, you know, I can't read the Bible anymore, or, you know, scripture doesn't apply to my life anymore. And it's being kind of like a wanderer in so many words. But yeah, but that's what that whole energy signature is about. I have a caller coming up. If there's anyone who wants to, wait, where is that thing at? Y'all ain't did this in so long. It is literally storming outside all of a sudden. That's so strange. This is the little link in the event that you guys want to call in. I have a caller. Sipping my water. I'm gonna bring her on up. Welcome.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to Ray Ray, Junebug, Jill. You know what? My man that's over there on Cell Block. No, I'm just kidding. Hey.
Hey, I love you.
Love you too.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Definitely can't complain.
Look at you. I love your hair. It's
Oh, thank
gorgeous.
you. Thank you so much. This is the first time I ever had it out on YouTube.
Go
I mean,
ahead.
at least on my channel.
Go ahead. Stiff wear. Stiff wear. Right. So I did write down my question
Mhm.
because I did look at the video that I would call Scream 3 that you put out. Don't choke. And in the video, you mentioned about a person working for a corporation or a council. I can't
Mhm.
remember. It was something like that. And they were being used to see another person via spiritual gifts. And
Mhm.
then how are they held responsible when the karma wheel turns if they are being used unbeknownst to them? Um, so where will they receive punishment, or why would they if they are also being used?
Child, look. First of all, the impression I got is that that person is fully aware.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fully aware of what it is that they're doing, but that's something that scared me about that, because some of you guys may know this, some of you may not, but you know, I come from a long line of conjure workers. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about what I'm aware of, because y'all know, like, energy signatures, that's a word I made up for what it is that I see. Hey, Fire Queen. That's a word I made up for stuff that I see um when I'm using my clairvoyance. And it's like everything has, it's almost okay. Thank you, Spirit. That's a good word. I'll quote Carl Jung. It's like an archetype, right? So each thing that happens, there's an archetype for it. But I was like, if this is some type of like magic, gree type of stuff, it's nothing I've ever seen in my lifespan. It's like what they were trying to do. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And the fact that what I'm looking at, I didn't even know what it was I was looking at because I had never seen anything like that before. I was like, it made me literally scared. And anyone who knows me know I don't get scared about anything. I am not afraid of ghosts. I'm not afraid of demons, like none of that stuff, right? But that made me feel very unnerved. And then it also tripped me out, which is why I flashed out in the video y'all saw, because I was thinking like, what human is that moronic? You know what I'm saying? How could you be that moronic to think? And that's why I say it's like an antichrist spirit, because it's like these are people who are so lost and so dead spiritually and so disconnected from God that they actually think that they could do something like that. Like, and that's the thing I say, dude, even with people, like, you know, people will do like, burn candles on people or cross people or hex people. But the thing is, all of that stuff has an expiration date. You feel what I'm saying? And you still have to receive the karma for that. And a lot of people don't know that, which is why, like, you really shouldn't be fooling with stuff like that, but that's neither here nor there. But what they're doing is on a whole nother level. And I couldn't understand how a person could get so deluded or so lost spiritually that you would put yourself almost on a level playing field with God, right? So all my Christian people, to answer your question, would be familiar with this word, but it's like a reprobate mind. It's like this person would be the very definition of what reprobate is, and their fate is already sealed. Like, and that's why I was like, dog, like you have to pay for that. Like I was saying in the video, and that within itself terrifies me. Like they would have to pay for that and pay for that in a level to where it would, child, they pull a little soul. Everything it is they did coming back tenfold. But with that person in particular, they're fully aware of what they're doing. It's not like a person, like the person is like a patsy, if you will, or like a, that's why I said like Manchurian candidate, they're like a puppet in a sense. But it's like they're fully aware of what they're involved in. So it's not someone who's like oblivious, if that makes sense.
Okay, that does. That really does.
Mm-hmm. Because
Okay.
I see what you mean. Because that would be scary to think of, like if like if somebody's just like, "Hey, can you go ahead and tap into the ether for me right fast?"
Right. Or
And
the
somebody
person
thinking,
is hijacked, like they're just doing, I don't know, they're meditating or something,
uh-huh.
and they're suddenly being hijacked for what they are seeing. That's what I was wondering.
No, and what my guys just told me was, for that energy signature, how some people are being affected by it is through like a root of bitterness. Because
Gotcha.
they just flashed the part of the video when I was talking about a perceived slight. It's like
Mhm.
a how we can make stuff up in our head if we're so traumatized and so wounded and like project things onto people and think people are attacking us and coming after us and blah blah blah. But it's like it's a open door of bitterness of them being wounded, is because what it really is, dog, we just gonna call it what it is. It's a demonic influence. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It's a demonic influence. And the doorway, and that's really what I've been talking about the whole month. Surprise. But the doorway of demonic influence is wounding. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's anger, whether it's bitterness, sadness, whatever, it opens up a door for, demonic activity. And if you're not spiritually aware, you know what I'm saying, you can come under the influence of it. But a lot of people are being affected that way too. That's why, like, I stressed this whole month about at that crossroads, like taking a stance, because we fell for the okey doke some time ago, but now it's like we have to wake up in a very, very serious way. And I want to say that without creeping you guys out. But legit, like, we have to wake up and be very aware of what it is that's happening, because it's a spiritual war for real in real life. It really is. But I hope that answered your question without creeping you out.
It does. I'm just gonna go ahead and sleep with the lights on. Okay. Like that's gonna stop anything. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, boo thing.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, man. And I don't know if someone else said something in the chat. I think someone else has said something else. I mentioned the Antichrist in a comment for the Dark Cloak video on YouTube, and GutterTube deleted it. What? They deleted Antichrist? I don't know if they would I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, because sometimes YouTube be flagging us for saying stuff. Do you ladies remember the meditation we did on the cloak figure? I've been thinking about it since the soul sessions came out. Oh my gosh, yes. I remember that meditation. Where justice and fairness makes sense. I'm a Libra. Something snapped when I heard the message. I felt the energy signal dissolve. So freaky. Oh wow, that's lit, dude. That is so lit. I'm just scrolling back through these to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me see. Oh, hey. TB up in here. That's my OGs. Yeah, man. Real talk. In the words of TD Jakes, get ready, get ready, get ready. Dude, that's so real. Yeah, but that's so important right now, dude. It really is. It really is. It's so important. I don't know how to pin comments with me being in here. I'm just gonna keep periodically putting this in here. If anyone else has any other questions, that's the little link of a jig. But yeah, dude, but that's the whole thing that I was stressing in all of the soul sessions and in the extended. It's like us having a spiritual base is so extremely hey there. Hey, Gihan. The Gemini message was almost, if not prophetic. Aw, thank you, Gihan. I mean, wait, Gian. We had this conversation, Gian. I almost did it again. But dude, yeah, man, it's like a lot of stuff was coming out, but it's really speaking to the need for all of us to get a clarity on where we stand spiritually. Because when I look out into the collective, and then just different people I work with, and that I've talked to, clients that I have, something that I see that's like a pervasive thing in the collective is a lot of people, like, we call ourselves spiritual, we say we're spiritual, but when it comes to what we believe, like, a lot of people aren't sure about what their belief system is per se. Like, they don't really know what that is, or what that means, or like how you get one, and that's where a lot of confusion ends up coming in times of trouble, because we don't know what to stand on. We don't know how to handle stuff. Or if we talk about things like spiritual attack or demonic attack or something like that, it's like people get terrified and scared and don't know, what to do with that. And it's something that you already have authority over. I think that was in Aries? I think I said that, where I was talking about having already overcome the world. So it's like we're still fighting battles, not knowing that the war was won. You know what I mean? So it's imperative that we get clear on, and their foundation is not solid. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. It's like we have to be solid on what it is that we stand on and what it is that we believe. So like I was saying earlier, it's like I tell people who because a lot of my subscribers, a lot of my members were Christian or were raised Christian, were, in the church. They, are ministers like me, that have left the church. And a consensus with that is people not really knowing how to believe or be or speak or think after leaving church. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I got another caller. Come on in. I'm about to click you in. Welcome, April. Welcome. Welcome to the debrief.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm not on camera because I'm in the middle of cleaning my kitchen and stuff, so sorry.
Oh no, that's all right.
But listening to you talk about, I grew up in church, got a good Pentecostal sort of church upbringing. I know, right? So I know about spiritual warfare and everything else. Of course, not being in church, taking it with me as my gifts develop. But what do you recommend people do who don't have that foundation, who have these gifts, especially like medium gifts or other kind of gifts? Like what would you recommend for them to be able to protect themselves, to ground themselves? Because they can be easily influenced when you don't know the players. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's hard. In all honesty, they would have to find a mentor of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to say, dog. I would say the advice I give to people, regardless of what your belief system was growing up, right? Or what it was as an adult, all of us have some sort of comfort level with, like, so if you were raised Catholic, if you were raised like Muslim, there's some sort of comfort that you have with that belief system or how the rituals work with that particular belief system. So you have to find where your comfort zone is, but you have to pick some sort of spiritual principles as a foundation. Now, if we were to deconstruct what every single religion is, like every world religion, there's something called the golden thread that goes between all of them. So there's a certain level of consistency, and that level of consistency is what I consider metaphysics or absolute truth, if you will, right? So a person would have to learn that set of spiritual truths and principles, and that would be the foundation and the guidelines for their life. But they would also, like, having spiritual gifts, especially like mediumship, child, it's like they would have to have, I don't want to say they would have to, I would say it would behoove them to have a mentor that can guide them and stuff like that, because it's kind of hard to navigate on your own without just reading a whole bunch of like books. Because I mean, I could give a whole list of books for a person in such of a situation to read, but it's just throwing more knowledge at you. You know what I'm saying? And I think every person with gifts, it would behoove them to have somebody who's like an OG with working in that particular area to guide them, because it's just easier. And when, you're afraid of something or you have questions, you can always go to your mentor or to your teacher. But it's not to say that you can't do it on your own, because most of you guys know that. It's like with my entire journey, I did it solo dolo, because I was fooling with all this stuff when it wasn't what's hot in the streets right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, being woo-woo was not cool when I started doing it. It was, everybody's just, you going to hell. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, real talk. But that's why, like, dude, why I created the network though, because that's how like everybody on the network, that's something nobody has an issue with, because my whole staff is gifted in different areas, and everyone has someone they can go to kind of guide them and help them out. But I would say, to answer your question, for a person in a situation such as that who did not have a mentor or a teacher, they would have to find what belief system aligns with them personally, like what makes sense to them, whether it's a religion or it's just spiritual principles, so that you can learn how to navigate it based on that belief system. Because what it really comes down to simply is you being able to identify, whether it's with your thoughts or with energies that you're picking up on, what's high vibrational and what's low vibrational. And that's another thing I noticed that people have trouble with, because I said that in the workbook last year, that if we were to look at us receiving messages through our subconscious, right? It's like if you were to call it God and a devil, it's like both God and the devil can speak to you through your subconscious. But most people just assume when they hear a voice in their head, non-auditory hallucination voice, right?
Right.
It's like people just assume that that's like God, and it's not all the time.
Right.
Like, and then people don't know the difference, because like something that I know that I tell people I mentor is like, God is not going to give you suspicious messages about people.
Word.
God ain't going to be like, ooh, they don't like you. You see how she looking at you? She thinks this and this. It's like spirit don't speak like that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
God's not a mean girl. Like,
right. But there's some people who don't know that. It's just like, oh no, God told me that she don't like me and that she was looking at me all side-eyed. And it's like, God didn't tell you that.
Not one.
I don't know who told you that wasn't God. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's like, yeah, but a lot of people don't even know that. And that's the thing I say that's kind of scary about it. But I think, you know, it doesn't even just have to be you know, my network, because we're talking about the network, but it doesn't even have to be my network. I just feel for anybody who's stepping into their gifts, it would behoove you to surround yourself with other people, but you want to find a belief system that's in alignment with your own personal truth, and it becomes like a support to it. Because if you follow any belief system that doesn't align with your own personal truth, that's how it ends up becoming oppressive, because now you're trying to bend yourself and mold yourself into the image of something that doesn't align with you, you know, naturally. You know what I'm saying?
And I have one more question. Okay, when you ended it, you said DNA. What were you talking about with the DNA in that message? Like, what was that about?
That was a dual message. With the DNA, it was something very literally, where there was a person where there, like, literally it was this is so creepy, y'all. It was a whole crime I had picked up on, and I was like, there's a person who's been falsely imprisoned or falsely accused for a crime, and I was like, they literally need to look at DNA. You know what I'm saying? And this person would be like, what's that word? Exonerated, I believe it is. So that was one side of it. And the other side of it is speaking to like, wow. I just heard ancestry, but then I realized I was gonna say DNA after that. And I was like, I'm not plugging the company. But it has to do with like ancestors and stuff. So if you look at all of us being like change agents, if you will, it's more or less that the people who align with this particular message, like the whole reason why this energy is trying to hold these people back is to like keep you from being a change agent in your lineage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we can get you trapped back in the same karmic cycle and you don't fulfill, you know, your mission or what you came here to do, then that doesn't just affect you. You know what I'm saying? That affects buku people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, since we deal with spiritual warfare, then that disrupts, you know. It's almost like I don't want to say espionage, or what's the word? It's like, I can't think of the word right. It's like an infiltration in a sense. Like they're trying to like infiltrate, you know what I'm saying? Trying to like, okay, you know, okay, we're kind of like your friend, telling you know, we're good or whatever, but really not. We're trying to fuck you up. Oh, sorry, we're trying to mess you up. So that's all.
Exactly. Yeah, dude.
So
it's a very insidious energy.
Right.
It's a very insidious energy, and that's why I was using that analogy of like the Achilles heel, because it's a very insidious energy, but it's like, dog, it's like it's coming very pointed, where it's like wherever your weak spot is, that's where it's coming to attack you at. You know what I'm saying? You got daddy issues, it's coming for your daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? You got low self-esteem, it's coming for your low self-esteem. So it's like it's trying to hit you in a place where it hurts, which I even realized, even with my little sabbatical that I took from YouTube, I realized even that within itself was a spiritual attack. It's like the level of frustration that I got to all of these years I've been here. I never got to a point to where I wanted to just delete the whole channel. And that's literally where I was. And my whole staff can tell you that. Like, I literally was like, I just want to delete this channel. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have anything to do with this. This is pointless. I don't understand why I'm even doing this. Why am I bothering? This is like, all of the stuff I was feeling I had never felt before. And it wasn't until like me coming back, it's like, because I stayed prayerful about this dude and I still was just like, nope, nope, nope. And then I finally felt like, okay, I need to come back. But it wasn't until I actually came back that I got the rest of the revelation about all of this. And that was an attack for me. Like, I was trying, like, it's almost this energy was trying to take me out to where everything it is that I share with everyone, it's like this voice would not be here anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I didn't see it as that at the time. But it's like now looking back, I was like, dog, this energy almost got me with the okey doke. You know what I'm saying? Because it had me focusing on the negative aspects of things, but not thinking about all of the people who, look forward to the soul sessions, or people who have, had epiphanies or have been encouraged by messages that I've shared. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dude, I was like, that freaking sucks that all of that got overshadowed by just negativity. You know what I mean? Yeah, because thank you, Egan. Yeah, dude. So it was trying to snuff out my light in so many words. And it didn't feel like that when it was happening. But looking back, I'm like, oh my goodness, I almost fell for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? I literally almost fell for the okie doke. So it's the same thing with each and every one of us. Legit. So it hits you in a place where you don't even feel like, it's not gonna look like an attack. It like, for me, it was very rational. It was just like, why am I doing this? Doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nobody listening to me. It's like people just be in my comments telling me mean things. I was like, me being on YouTube, and I was telling that to my dad. Like, I was just like, dude, I said, me being on YouTube, like, has been affecting my mental health, and I'm a therapist in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was telling my dad, I was like, this is not healthy. Like, being on YouTube is not healthy. It is not good for your mental health at all. And it's like, I found since I was on YouTube, and this was my whole line of thinking of wanting to delete the channel, was I was just like, dude, since I've been on YouTube, I worry about stuff and care about things and am bothered by things that I've never even fret about in my life, like in my lifespan. Like, I've never cared about, likes or dislikes or views, or I never fret about stuff like that. I was always a person who just kind of posted on social media and went on about my life. You know what I'm saying? It's like I post and go, but I was like telling my dad, I was like, dude, I said, this is not healthy. Like, I was like, this whole setup, like this whole game, like all of this is terrible for your mental health. And it was really getting to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking like that, but looking back, I can see how that very logical line of thinking completely overrode the bigger picture I see now. Oh, you just have my internet left chat mid sentence. But yeah, dude, it's wild. It's so wild. But that's why, like, I stress that in the soul sessions, man. It's like, be on guard, but don't be hyper vigilant, but just be conscious, Oh, thank you so much, Christina. I'm glad that this helps. Your your internet says she's done. Oh man. But yeah, dude. But it's wild. It's really wild. But I tell you guys, be on guard, but don't fall to fear. That's like the big thing. Like, this is nothing to be afraid of, because each and every one of you guys are protected. But this is all about you guys taking an energetic stance. And any questions y'all have in reference to that, because like I said, all my people on the network, y'all already know, because we about to start a whole Bible study on the network. But I mean, any of you guys that are subscribers, if you ever have any questions about any of that, of getting in alignment with your spiritual gifts, or questions about walking in your spirituality, V said you gonna pull some cards. As soon as I finish this, I gotta record a video for Shidu, for my Shidu channel. Because I promised all my Taurians I was gonna pull some cards for a love reading for them on my other channel. This was a word. I'm glad you stayed the path here, Deb. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of y'all. I know my first day back, y'all had me about to snot cry, because I appreciate that. I really do. Like, all the love that I get from all of my subscribers. And that's what made me feel so guilty, because I was like, dog, that's ridiculous. I said, I'm sitting over here focusing on negative stuff. And I said, I have so many people who support me, dog. So many people who support me, that I was like, that's ridiculous for me to even, drop the link, do it live. Look, V. I have so many people that support me, and I appreciate y'all so much for that. I really do. Yeah, man, I can't wait for the Bible study either. It's going to be so fun. I have lots of questions, but I can't think of one. No problem at all. I said I'm going to start doing these more. Look, she said, ooh, Taurus love reading. Word. Yeah, man. But I said I'm going to start doing these more often, because like I said, like on my network, we always just like link up just because it's freaking Tuesday or something. And we're always, sharing our little spiritual musings and things of the sort. And I think, it's about time, because I'm stepping into a new energy myself, that I start sharing this with you guys as well. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Christina. Oh, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are so, like, I swear to God, y'all are like amazing humans. Y'all are freaking amazing humans, I swear. Oh yeah, Gian, I can't wait. Your session on Monday. Even though love is stinky. Ooh, Philippians 4:8. Oh, thank you, Tebow. I know. I thought it was so funny. I've gotten so comfortable with just showing my hands. And I was like, oh, wow. I said, today they're going to see my face. I'm like, y'all ain't seen my face in a minute. The energy in New York is off. I see it. It feels like spirits have been unleashed here in humans. Yeah, look, Fire Queen, you ain't wrong. I'm being real with you. You are not wrong, not even a little bit. It's not just New York. Like, it's all over the place. It's like since the beginning of the year, dog. Well, the latter part of last year, it is almost as if like an energy just got released, man. And it's like, if you're intuitive, especially if you're like clairsentient, just like sit somewhere, like in your city, and just close your eyes and just feel. And it's like you're gonna feel stuff, especially like the later that it gets at night. Not saying go outside at night, but if you're just sitting in your house, and most people, like, empaths and things, you can feel when the energy kind of dips when you get to about like 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and you feel how it's kind of like energy all over the place during the day, and then all of a sudden it just quiets down. It's like when that happens, it's just discern what vibe that you're feeling. And it's like, and you'll feel that it's gonna feel the same, but there's this weird kind of reverberating essence on top of everything. Yeah, it's hella dark, dog. It's hella dark. It is. It's hella dark. And I was joking with my staff the other day, and I said it's kind of like that story in the Bible when they put like the blood on the door, and like that little spirit of death went around. Like that's like what it feels like. That's literally what it feels like. So it's like if you got blood on your door, then you straight. But it's like the Walking Dead out there. Drives through Staten Island to get to Brooklyn from now on. Dude. Yeah, I heard there's like some weird thing that's gonna happen up there, like around DC and all that. Is it like a Arctic blast or something like that? Gotham City. Whosoever thinks. Oh, I think I have a journal that has it on there. Or have a good report. Think of these. I think it's, well, y'all, I think I literally have every journal I've ever written in my entire life. But I think I have a journal. Is that it right there? I think I have a journal that has that scripture on it. Is that it? Yeah, think on these things. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if any is excellent, praiseworthy, think about such things. Yeah. This was my journal when I was married. Yeah. It's going to snow in Mississippi. Oh, and freeze in Biloxi. Oh. Stay away from New Orleans weather, please. It was so nice today. Don't go out at night. It's like the purge for real. And I'm in the birds, bust around him. This seems like chaos. Dude, I believe you. There's like carjackings that are happening in New Orleans. Like there's like a huge uptick in carjackings. Like it's like an epidemic. And I mean, and then there's like another part of town where it's so bad that they're literally thinking about sending like the National Guard out there because it's so bad. So people are like, man, dude, it's wild, Magnolia. I kid you not. The Passover thing, because I had a dream months ago in relation to the Epiphany, the 12th night. Oh, wow. Oh, you're so welcome, Fire Queen. It's a blessing to my life, man. It really is. I feel like we all need each other. Now is a time that we all need each other. We all need community. We all need support from each other. Like, if we don't have each other during this time, dog, like anyone, and we say that all the time, like anyone who hasn't like found like a tribe, you know what I'm saying? By now, it's like this is a tough time to be a lone wolf. It really is, because there's things that are happening where like even me and my staff, it's like we have to put our brains together sometimes because it's just wild stuff that's happening, man. Like things we've never seen before. Like the level of synchronicity with things is creepy because it's literally we can say some things, think something, somebody dreams something, and next thing you know, we're just like screaming because all of this stuff is like connecting, and we're like, oh my god, what is happening right now? Yeah, kids are stealing cars in Columbus too, dude. That's what they're doing here, and I'm like, what the heck is happening? I don't know what's the point of that. It's wild, man. That's why I don't go outside, y'all. But I'm definitely going to be doing these more often. I'm not going to keep y'all too long, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't got to be long to be strong. And then I got to go record this reading in the weekly and that other video for She Do. Yeah, dude, it's wild. But I thank all of y'all for coming and being here. But we're going to be doing these more often. I'll keep y'all posted. But I love y'all's faces. Thank y'all for being here, my sweet, precious subbies. And I hope y'all enjoy. Hey, Goddess of Outcasts, I love your freaking name. Hello from Australia. Ooh, a house on some land. I'm here for that. But I love you guys. I'll see y'all super soon. I hope y'all enjoy your Friday. Oh, you're so welcome. Enjoy your Friday. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love your faces.